Hello, this is Mary, and this is The Harboring Light. I give a conservative perspective about the world around me. As I do in the beginning of every episode of my podcast, I mention social media and audio platforms. Social media, I'll link that in this episode, and also I have writings on Substack. That is a supplement to this podcast. So, feel free to read the content and give me comments about it. And also, with my podcast, I would appreciate that and give me a rating and also follow and share. I appreciate all you listeners out there, and I just would like to hear your feedback. So, audio platforms. I am on Spotify for podcasters. I'm on Overcast, Pocket Cast, iHeartRadio, Pandora, and I am on Audible and Amazon Music, and I'm looking to grow to wherever you enjoy your podcast, I'm on that. So, this episode is about the storytelling, specifically with commercials about Christmas. And I'm going to talk about 3 advertisements that had an impact, I think, as far as the ideas and everything else along the lines with Christmas. So, let's get into it. Let's talk about it. Okay, so my thoughts on the Coca-Cola ads, the vintage ads with Santa Claus, and the Folgers ad with Peter coming home from Christmas, the original one and the one from 2009, and the Hershey Kisses, Mini Kisses ads. I think all 3 of these examples showcase the touch and the what you can do when you pay attention to the importance of storytelling. So with all 3 of these commercials, it impacts and keeps in mind the mentality of the wholesomeness of loved ones and family and celebration, and the importance of kindness and generosity and gratitude for people. And more along the lines with Peter coming home from Christmas and the continuation part 2 of it in 2009 with the revamp of it, and with the Santa Claus vintage Coca-Cola ads, the special touch of the making it really very wholesome to the idea of Santa Claus and the childlike spirit of how Santa Claus is viewed, and the magic and wonder behind it. And then, tying into the wonder and the celebration of the music of the holiday sound, which is embraced and showcased, and the miniature Hershey ads that, went on and when I was a child and my husband was a child, and in the 90s, and the ad is still present in today's culture. All right, so let's get into it. Let's talk about these ads. Okay, so on to talking about the Peter Comes Home for Christmas Folgers ad from 1986. It's one of the best known repeated Christmas commercials. While the commercial hasn't been running recently, it has been shown so much at holiday time that people think it runs. And also to add on to this, in 2009, I believe, there was a Folgers ad as the continuation for this. And it's unfortunate in the recent light of that, around the controversy and everything else. And I will add all the information for this and this episode that, trying to say there's incest things going on. And you gotta, to me, it's like, okay, step back and think about why is this perception around it, and why say that, why think that. And it's obviously people have their own thought processes and everything else with that, but it makes you, to me, think, are you grabbing for strings? Are you trying to make something that's not there? Like, what is that really? What are we really saying? And then digging deeper, is it a thing where it's a lost form of reality that the bonds between families aren't something that's well respected anymore? I mean, it's really something to think about. So, on to more details about this. So, the actor that played Peter was Greg Wrangler. Now, it goes on to say that since his 1986 role, he has appeared in soap operas like ABC's All My Children and CBS Young and the Restless. And he also went on to guest star on primetime classics like Friends, Hawaii Five-0, and CSI New York. Now, to add on to this about Folgers and their background. So Folgers had roots in San Francisco, but it gained national prominence with Procter and Gamble, that is, which turned into a national brand. They sold the brand to J.M. Smucker for $3 billion, and it was founded in 1850, that is, I misread that. Folgers is the leading coffee brand in the U.S. Now, they shot the commercial in 1986. The agent was Cunningham and Walsh, one of the greatest agencies. It merged into N.W. Ayer, and it is now called Publicist. The agency was created by John Pepper and his What Really Matters service, leadership, people, and values, with making Folgers a household name. Definitely something to think about. And also to add on to this, I think that's the wonder and the capstone for what helped to really tell the story of the emotions and have empathy and the understanding of what it's like for families during the holidays, specifically for Christmas, and having a loved one go off, and the blessing to have them back, and then to see them and know everything is okay. All right, so let's go on to talk about the classic Coca-Cola ads. All right, on to the Coca-Cola ads. During the chilly winter months, the company faced a major problem. How do you convince customers that soda is not just a summer beverage but should be enjoyed year-round? As early as the 1910s, they turned to Santa Claus for the answer, hoping the popular figure would help connect Coca-Cola to the holiday season. Santa Claus in 1910 and 1920s had largely come into focus as the jolly beard, happy soul we recognize today. But artists still occasionally tweaked the color of Santa's robes or the amount of girth they added around the middle. At the time, Coca-Cola relied on the image of Santa that helped prevail for a century. In 1822, American poet Clement Clark Moore wrote a poem for his daughters about a visit from St. Nicholas, describing the holiday gift giver as a little old driver, so lively and quick, who was small enough to fit down chimneys. By the 1860s, famous cartoonist Thomas Nast had turned Santa Claus into a fully human-sized character and given him a home at the North Pole. In the early 1930s, Coca-Cola turned to Hayden H. Sundblom, I believe, an advertising artist with the Archie agency, to design a new Santa. Sundblom redrew Santa Claus as a plump, cheerful man with snow white hair and dressed him in red and white colors. It's okay, sweetie. That had already become associated with Santa, but which happily matched Coca-Cola's signature colors. Sundblom even provided a Miss Claus based on his own wife. Today, it is Sundblom Santa who decorates everything from Coca-Cola cans to Christmas sweaters, from greeting cards to home decor, all because Coca-Cola wanted to increase its winter sales. Yeah, is that right, sweetie baby? Okay. Yeah, that's right. Okay. All right, so on to the Hershey Kisses miniature ad. And to add on this, all the information for this will be linked in this episode, and all the other sources will be linked in this episode. And also, I'm adding in some interesting facts about this ad for the Hershey Kisses miniature commercial. All right, so many of us have grown up with the ad, which shows 11 chocolates ringing to the tune of "We Wish You a Merry Christmas." The promo has aired every holiday season since its debut in 1989. All right, so what most people don't know, though, is the story behind how the commercial came to life and its impact to this day. It's entirely unaltered. This flawless piece of old-school holiday content has remained exactly the same since its inception. An employee went rogue to make this commercial. John Dunn, Hershey's brands manager at the time, headed to San Francisco to create a series of Kisses commercials, all focusing on the idea of whimsy. He was working with the advertising firm Ogilvy and Mather and Colossal Pictures, a production company, to create the ads. And when he realized they were working ahead of schedule, he asked two members of the team to come up with a holiday commercial. Dunn wasn't authorized to make a holiday commercial, but he did so anyway, according to Hershey's archives. He was that confident he could sell his boss on the idea. Okay, the last second is crucial. Now, at the very end of the commercial, the kiss on the far right starts ringing frantically, and when the conductor, who happens to be the trunk of the Hershey Kisses Christmas tree, finally motions for the kisses to stop, the frenzied chocolate wipes its brow, that is, using its ribbon as if it were an arm. This sign of relief helps bring home the innocence and whimsy of the Hershey Kisses brand. Hershey's reports making it a crucial scene in the ad. It's a case of study and timelessness. Since the commercials run for a short time frame, just a few months out of the year, and it uses a classic Christmas carol, people haven't forgotten hadn't gotten as fatigued of the ad over the years as they have many others. Plus, since the production itself hasn't changed, the kisses don't wear out like normal commercials. Former marketing director for chocolate confectionery products at Hershey, Leah Logan, told the New York Times in 1994. With each passing year, the ad triggers feelings of nostalgia. You can remember when you first saw it and associate memories of holiday past, making it a tradition in itself. What may be most impressive, though, is in just 16 seconds time, Hershey somehow gets you into the holiday spirit and makes you think about grabbing a bag of chocolate kisses without saying a single word out loud. The song plays throughout the commercial, with just the line "Happy Holidays from Hershey Kisses" appearing beneath the chocolates at the very end. All right, so this reaches the end of the Hovering Light. Tune in and turn up and definitely take care. All right, bye-bye now.